Hospital-acquired infections are a huge problem worldwide. Now, half of these are device-related. There are millions of devices implanted into patients in the US alone annually. Hundreds of thousands of these get infected by a biofilm. Now, a biofilm is a community of bacteria that attach to the surface, in this case an implant, and then create a protective layer so that way your immune system can't fight it off. Also, they're resistant to antibiotics. Now, they can also get into the bloodstream and cause a bloodstream infection. This causes mortality in patients that are otherwise healthy 20 to 40% of the time, depending on the pathogen. So this huge problem is currently being dealt with by surgeons via, let's take a hip implant as an example. So say you got a hip implant that's infected. You go in, a surgeon will have to remove that hip implant, including the surrounding tissue, and then you have to wait a while for you to recover from that infection. So in the case of a hip implant, you'd be stuck without a hip. You'd be stuck in a wheelchair for some time. Then you go back in for another surgery to have that hip placed back in. This requires 2 invasive surgeries. It's an incredibly long recovery process, and of course, really low quality patient life. It's also a $6 billion problem in the US alone annually. Our lab is looking at a coating that can be put just on the surface of an implant. And in the case of a biofilm infection, we can remotely and wirelessly heat up that surface. I've been looking at the different temperatures and how long to expose these bacteria to these temperatures in order to get rid of them or to deal with this infection. I've also looked at the combined effects with antibiotics, and I found with very short periods of heating, I've increased the effect that these antibiotics have. So maybe for one example I have, erythromycin, I can have no effect without any heat. In the presence of a very short period of heat, I increase the effect by 99.9999%. So I'm looking at no effect to a huge effect. All of a sudden now we can kill off these biofilms. So this technology will improve patient quality of life by eliminating those invasive surgeries. We got 2 that we just get rid of. We would also increase the patient quality of life by decreasing the recovery time significantly, and we would get rid of this multi-million-dollar problem in the US annually. Thank you.